welcome to Figure It Out, where I paint 3D statues such as this Kratos, the God of War, which is today's project. You've obviously found the channel by stumbling across it, tripped, fell, landed in it, and I thank you for that. Before I start, you should like and subscribe to see more painting videos. Okay, this model was printed on my Saturn printer. It might be old, but it's still going. It was printed with the Sunlu standard resin. I do like the ABS, but due to price concerns, I just used the standard. It does the job really well anyway. It's just not quite as forgiving if you drop a piece, or when, say, sanding these chains, and it can bend and snap rather than giving a bit of give to it. So obviously this model has already been post-processed and primed. I don't like to bore you with that stuff. I mean, it's sanding. Just keep sanding until it looks good. It was primed with Createx Autoborn Sealer. I really like this primer as I'm able to go back in and sand afterwards without any issues. Other primers tend to peel away as you're sanding with them. These don't, they just sand, and it's just brilliant. Now, I need to figure out my game plan on how I intend to tackle it. I'm going to start with the base. I'm looking for a volcanic look. So fire and like the black rock. From there, I will do the skin, followed by all of his armor, clothing, and accessories. Okay, let's take a closer look at the base. I'm going to be using this reference from ZEZ Studios for the base. I really like the volcanic look, the black for the rock and the fire. I really like the volcanic look from this reference. I'm going to try to go that way. So my plan is to spray it with white, the whole thing with white, and bring it down, then layer it with pinks. So I'll be using a pink underlay, going into the reds again before laying it down with yellow. I'll go over the entire thing with a carbon black dry brush, not the whole thing, sorry, where the rock is, with a carbon black dry brush, trying to make sure I don't get into any of those cracks. So it'll appear like there is fire within the rock. I don't know if this will work. I've never tried it before, but that's how it looks in my mind. So we'll give it a shot. When I'm done with that, I actually forgot this on the Deadpool 2 bust. I will be putting the base plate on this time, but I'll wait till it's all done and then seal it up. I'm hoping with the next project to attempt to be putting a print onto felt. I still have to get someone to print onto transfer paper for me, as my printer is an absolute hunk of junk. Anyway, we should get to it. So the base is pretty well done. I still have to attach the base plate. I'll do that later on after the oil has fully cured and I varnished it. Then I'll glue that on, as I'm going to have to make sure there's no oil residue left on the base. And again, when we take a look at my first attempt at this kind of deal, that is a massive improvement. So next up, take a look at the skin. So with the base wet and drying, you're going to start looking at the skin tones for Kratos. This is an interesting one. I've never done grey as a skin tone before. I'm using the references of the games to try and figure this out, but I'm actually wanting to give him a normal skin tone to begin with, like fully normal. And then I'm going to, I think I want to try the grey over it to give it that ash look, as it is meant to be the ashes of his loved ones. So if I could do that in it, I think that would look really good, but I want to see if I can pull that one off. Let's go. The skin tone is complete. I didn't end up going the route that I wanted to, instead airbrushing it. I think it turned out great regardless. Would it have been better if I had dry brushed it? I don't know, maybe. But again, I really love how this has turned out so far. Adding that little bit of extra warmth, like in this reference. I ended up having to finish the tattoo off camera last night as we had a power outage, lasted something like 8 hours. No idea, only 50 houses were affected. Of course, we're one of them. I just finished that outside in the sunlight, still to finish off with the skin after I've painted everything else. Gonna go back in to the blood, give it a bit more brightness to it, give it a little bit of a fresher look. I'm also gonna try blood splatter. I've never really tried that before. That's gonna be fun. Hopefully I don't ruin it. I also have to go back through, gloss the eyes, the teeth, the lips. I'll gloss over the blood as well. And I'm not sure whether I'm gonna make his skin flatter yet. I mean, he's traversing a very hot environment. His skin would be that little bit shiny, I would imagine, but we'll see how we go on that one. Next up, I'm going to be painting the braces, the wrappings, the belt, and the like loincloth, I guess, as well as the sandals. I'll leave the weapons and accessories till right at the end before doing some blood splatter and stuff like that on it. I'm going for brass on the gauntlets, as I think the gold color will stand out better against the red than, say, his silver braces. And leather braces just seem way too difficult when you've got these chains all over them as well. The wrappings, I am going to be doing a dirty red, be similar for the loincloth. The sandals, I guess, brown. Let's get stuck into it. Okay, so that is Kratos's armor and clothing nearly complete. I need to go over and add a satin sheen to the braces on his shins and his forearms. But I'll do that when I do the weapons, as I'll also be doing them in a satin sheen. I still need to look up a reference about this sword, if there is one at all. But I'm going to do the sword and the arrows first, just get them out of the way, and then I'll focus on the Chaos Blades. My plan with the Chaos Blades, I will be using these two references. I'm not sure how I'm going to get this glow effect on the chain yet. My guess is it will be some form of dry brushing, but I'll look at that closer to when I'm actually doing it. With the Chaos Blades, again, we'll see what happens when we get there. Okay, that is another project done. I am really happy with this one. The chains turned out really good, a lot better than I expected. It was just a matter of a dry brush and a stipple and then going with some red and pink and yellow and orange to bring it out a little bit. I had to learn how to do the glow effects on the blades, but I'm really happy I did. They look really good. And I'd never done a blood splatter effect before. Just really happy how it all turned out all together. The gaps look great. The statue just looks really nice. The only mistake that I'm really worried about is just down the bottom. I can still see the base plate edge. Other than that, I think this thing is awesome. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. Before I go and take the final shots, if you'd like to like and subscribe to see more painting videos, that would be awesome. And we'll go get those shots.